Welcome back, guys. My name is Jay, and this is my Diecast Creations channel. And yes, this is the day. This is another day, and it's just a week later, but it's the day that we give away our second JDC family giveaway for 200 subscribers. You guys voted. You got what you wanted. It's a 1986 Chevy Monte Carlo built as a race car. And in this video, I'm going to break down how I did it and why I did it and what I did to do it. So these pictures that you see here are some pictures from the local guys at my racetrack, Riverhead Raceway on Long Island, New York. These are street stock and enduro cars, G-body, GM chassis that were, basically manufactured from 78 to 88. The Chevy Monte Carlo, Buick Regal, Grand National, GNX, the Cutlass, the 442, and the Pontiac Grand Prix, and I think there was a few other ones. The G-Body was the last production-based car to ever be raced in NASCAR, and they produced it with a 3.8 V6 turbo up to a 5.0 high-output V8. And the guys in NASCAR would take a 350 and bore it out and convert it into like a 350, 383 or so, I'm pretty sure. And these cars have been raced at my track since back in the 80s, all the way back to the Charger division. And I think those guys ran like a 355, which was like a 350 with some work done to it. And don't beat me up if I'm wrong, guys. I know a lot of local guys are probably going to watch this video, and if I got any of that wrong and you want to add to it, please comment down below so that I can get my facts straight, right? But basically, the G-Body is the working man's car, the race car that you build, and you either run enduros with it because that's all you can afford to do, or you step it up a notch and you go street stock racing where you bolt Hoosiers on it. You're allowed to do some work to the suspension and stuff like that, right? And get your 15 minutes of fame. The difference between those two divisions is an enduro is basically they drop the green flag and there's no rule. There's no rules. There's really no rules. It's frowned upon to do some shady stuff, but there's no caution flags. Unless somebody gets hurt, they'll throw the red flag. And then the street stock division is a flagged event, so it's usually like 20 laps or so. And if somebody spins out and there's an accident, they'll throw a caution and do a restart, right? For anybody that's not familiar with circle track racing, that's basically in a nutshell how it works. But most of these guys are not the richest guys in the world. They take every little bit of money that they got and they throw it into their race car so they can go out and do battle on the weekends and be called a weekend warrior, and for those nights in the summer, it's not about the money, it's not about the fame, it's about the time, and it's about the relationships that you make. And it's racing in general, short track racing, and it happens all over the country. And that I would, if I can go back and change my childhood, I wouldn't. And the way that I grew up, I love every bit of it. So I know a lot of people are going to appreciate this video. So I put up 6 cars. You guys voted on it. The 1986 Chevy Monte Carlo that we're going to start off is right here. It won by a vote to 10 to 9. So it was a tight race down to the checkered flag, but the Monte Carlo won, and I'm kind of glad it did because I really wanted to build this car. I specialize in post-apocalyptic vehicle warfare builds like Mad Max and death race style stuff. And I'm trying to get outside of my comfort zone. So to be able to go into my history and my heritage a little bit, and build a replica old school NASCAR short track car, I got really excited about this. I really did. So basically what you see in here, I'm babbling on, but I just drilled out the post. Now I'm taking it apart, checking out what kind of pieces we have to work with, seeing what I'm going to keep and what I'm not, what I'm going to get rid of, right? And, it's got a regular interior in it. So one of the things that I had to do to make it a race car was put a roll cage in it. So I was looking for something, and I had this this Hot Wheels number 5 Terry Labonte, and the post had been smashed in, like it got ran over or stepped on or something. So, I looked at the wheels and I looked at the cage and I was like, yep, it's a donor. It's going to be a donor. So I took the wheels off and I mocked it up on there, and they look pretty good. The back wheels are a little bit smaller than the ones that came on the car stock, but that's okay, because on a race car, all 4 wheels have to be the same size, right? Basically. So, now I'm looking at the cage and I put it inside the chassis right here, and I know that I'm going to have to cut along that black line that I marked, right? And now I'm looking at, can I drop the body onto the NASCAR chassis? And it just would have been way too much work. So I decided not to. I decided to go the other way and just take the guts of the NASCAR car and make them fit into the Monte Carlo shell. So it did take a bit of cutting and grinding, and the Dremel got its work out on this build with the plastic work for sure. I had to cut a bunch of channels in the bottom of the chassis to make all the guts fit, and make sure that we had clearance for our wheel axles and the not the axles, I'm blanking here. Axle tubes. Wow. Anyway, the bottom of the cage was hitting the bottom of the chassis, so I had to grind down probably an eighth of an inch or whatever, and then grind down on the chassis an eighth of an inch to make those two marry up together and actually fit like really nice. So this is what we're looking at now. I got the wheels in there, I got the cage in there. I see that it's sitting a little bit weird, so I end up fixing that. We throw the body in the stripper, and I primed the roll cage and the interior with gray, and I did a little bit detail work with just some markers, and we end up going in with a brush later and touching up some things. I knew I couldn't put a tinted window back in this thing, right? It's a race car. So what I did was took the packaging from the Monte Carlo Hot Wheels package that it came in, right? And it's a clear package. So I cut out the window shape, and we end up making that fit in there, and that actually looks like Lexan. So it worked out perfectly. So now I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this looks really good. I got excited right there when it all went together and the paint was off. So I got 3 projects going on right now. The 70 Monte Carlo, which is for the 4 horseman build, and a 3 blind mice build, I'm sorry, and the El Camino, which is for the 4 horseman build. Both of those will air within the next 2 weeks, and I'm excited to show those cars too, because it's 2 different things that I've never done before, and I hope you guys tune in for that. So now I'm looking at the body, and I cleaned it up with the Dremel, and I know that there's some defects on it, but it is a race car, right? And race cars have defects too, so I didn't want to go too crazy with cleaning this car up, but I did get rid of, like, the massive amount of just tarnish that was on the casting, right? So now we prime it with a gray Rust-Oleum paint. It was a nice day. It was like 47 degrees out, I think, like something like that. And the weather's starting to break up here, so that was cool. We went out there, sprayed it, then I hit it with a red Rust-Oleum red. My brother has some paints down in the basement, and this paint was actually probably over 5 years old, so I'm actually kind of surprised that it actually stuck to the car, but it turns out really well. I put like 3 coats on there. I hit it with a gloss clear, and then I'm just like, I'm thinking I need decals, right? And if anybody knows any ins on water slide decals, I'm in the market right now. I need water slide decals because, I could do what I did here for the low budget type of deal, and with my freehand work and stuff like that. But when it comes to really doing liveries, I'm gonna need some help. So I am looking at getting a computer, and I'm a printer and all that, and getting the water slides done myself. But for now, this is where we're at. So I'm in the market to get some decals. Anyway, moving on. I took some dry transfer numbers that I had in the drawer over here. and I put a 2 on there for to represent 200. This is our second giveaway. And I had these water slide checkered flag decals that came from the hobby store over here. They specialize in Games Workshop 40K stuff, and they had these water slides that were like left over from some kits that they had, you know, and I think I got them for like $2 for a page of them. So they had checkered flag on it. I was like, you know what, that's perfect. I'm going to slap it on the bottom. The one ripped and wouldn't stick back on, so I figured I'd take a tire and smear it in the paint and then make it look like this car had, you know, been used and abused, right? So we, you know, basically if you got tire marks on the right side of your car, that means you're fast and you're digging people, right? So their left rear tire is hitting your paint and it's making it, you know, it's making rub marks there. So that's what happened there. I needed to support the Lexan, so I found this metal, these pieces of metal, and if anybody knows where they came from, I'll give you 10 bonus points. But it just adds support, and this is more like a realistic thing that race cars have to have, right? In case the tire kicks up or something, it doesn't come through the windshield. So that's just the support there. And then I took a piece of white vinyl and I slapped it up top. And I was on the fence whether I screwed up the whole entire car here or you know, made it work, but it is what it is when you see what I did. Like I said, I need vinyl stickers and water slides. So right now I'm doing everything by freehand and it's not the best, but I did put a number 2 in the corner, tried to box it off. Maybe it looks like a 21. And there's just a JDCF up top for the JDC family. That was basically the last finishing touch I put on there. And then I'm looking at the car and I'm like, yeah, something's not right. It's a race car. It ain't set up to race. So I took some axle tubing. I basically reamed out a channel there so that I could slip the axles in, glue them from the inside, and that the car would still roll. And I decided to bend the axles just a little tiny bit on each side, a little bit of positive, a little bit of negative camber, and now the car's race ready, right? We got that right front sitting good. The left front's got a little bit. When it goes in the corner, it's going to sit flat. Everything was all said and done, and I'm like, you know, I detailed the bottom of the car a little bit, and I'm like, nah, it needs an exhaust coming out the side. So we took that little piece of styrene, chopped it in half, painted it up, slapped it on there, and we got a race-ready old school NASCAR short track. So this is the car that we started with. It's an 86 Chevy Monte Carlo, one of my all-time favorite cars. I actually owned one back in the day, and maybe I'll get another one day. And this is what we transformed it into. The number 2 JDC family, low-budget racing, you know, short track, weekend warrior, and I'm actually really proud of this car. I'm really pleased with the way it came out. I know I could have slapped some nice water slides with some, you know, sponsors and this, that, and the other thing, but you know, there's guys every weekend that, you know, sponsors wanted. So this is for you, for the underdogs out there. And you know, I came from a low budget racing family. You know, we ain't got it all, and this is what it is. So, you know, this build meant a lot to me, and whoever ends up with it, you know, it should mean a lot to you too. You know, I don't know what else to say. You know, I like the way that it sits. I think I tucked the left rear in too far, you know, but maybe it's a bad day. You know, we have offs on our setup sometimes. You know, guys will, you know, you spend all week in the shop getting these cars ready to go out there Saturday night, and you know, you try different things too. So maybe this week we had a bad setup tip, and we tried something new, and that left rear is just sitting too far in, and it's okay, because you know, after practice we'll fix it. But now we're gonna do the giveaway. Good luck, guys. Thank you. All right, guys, we just got done building the 200 subscriber giveaway car. It was the 1986 Chevy Monte Carlo, voted to be built as a race car. Being that I'm from a racetrack, I decided to build it as a circle track street stock. I did my best to replicate an old school NASCAR short track car without having all the gadgets and things that I would need to really make some legitimate livery decals and stuff like that. So I decided to go old school with it, and hope you guys like it. I've plugged the URL into this random YouTube comment picker, filtered out duplicate users. I included replies to comments because I know somebody put a reply as their road to in the reply to their original comment, right? And then I'm going to filter out comments based on specific text, road to. The winner will have 48 hours to email me at jaysdiecastcreations@gmail.com. I'll have the link in the description. You must be 18 or older to accept this, or have a parent or guardian sign off on it, right? So we're going to get YouTube comments here. Boom. Get YouTube comments, please. There we go. 32 unique comments. So 32 people have participated in this giveaway. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and thank you for supporting the channel. New subscribers and old ones as well. You know, I don't want to lose focus on the guys that have supported me from the beginning. So I really appreciate everybody, and this car is going to be given away to one of you, but there's one stipulation. I will be holding on to it until let me get the date here. It's going to be April 25th, as I am going to use this car in a SEMA-like show that's going on, and it's a competition. It's called Skid 2021, hosted by Outlaw Speed Shop. And this car is going to be part of the display. So as soon as I get all the pictures and everything done with all the other vehicles that I'm using and the display, I'll make sure that I get it out to the winner. So I apologize for holding on to it like that, but you will end up with a nice piece in due time. So let's pick a winner, huh? Good luck, everybody. Jim Laird. Jim Laird is the winner of the 1986 Street Stock Monte Carlo, and Jim should be really happy about this. He's actually a local guy from my racetrack, and he races a blunderbuss car, which is real similar to this. So Jim should be ecstatic, actually. It's really cool. That's really cool. Thanks for the support, Jim. I appreciate you hopping in on the giveaways and supporting what I'm doing here with the channel. So that's it. I'll be in touch with Jim here. He lives actually a few miles from me, so that's cool. Thank you everybody else for the support and entering into the giveaway. There's another giveaway coming up. We're doing a Mustang diorama. And by the time this airs, the voting might be closed. I think it's 291 subscribers right now, and this is the 13th of March. So this giveaway will probably air this week coming up, but if we haven't hit 300 yet, you guys are all welcome to join in on the giveaway and get in on it. And if it's closed, then I'm sorry, but we're gonna give away one car, a custom, every 100 subscribers I get, until we hit 1,000. So let's keep this going. Congratulations to Jim. I hope you guys like the build, and there'll be more coming soon, and I'll catch you on the next one.